So you have a folder containing video lecture notes and you want to find connections between these videos. How do you solve this as an engineer? Well, that's what we're covering in this video because Gemini has video understanding capabilities that allows you to understand videos, extract assets from those videos, get transcript from those videos, and you could even prompt it for things in those videos. Don't forget to grab the link to the notebook in the description and run this code yourself. Try it out. Please try it out so you could understand it yourself. Let's dive into the video. Hey engineers, welcome to Video Understanding in our Gemini API series. If you're new here, we've been taking a look at Gemini's Python SDK and its set of tools and capabilities that allows us to do various tasks such as text generation, text understanding, video generation, image understanding, and now we're on video understanding. As usual, the code and every resource that you would need is available in the description. Please copy it and try it yourself. But without further ado, let's get into the video. For today, we'll be looking at the setup instructions, the limitations, the ability to describe and extract information from video, the ability to prompt video, and the ability to work with YouTube videos. Yes, Gemini has direct support for understanding and extracting information from YouTube videos, the ability to refer to specific timestamps within a video, and we'll just have a recap and we'll just have a conclusion. As usual, the resources that we've been using has been the Gemini's API doc and also the cookbook that contains different code samples generated and written by other engineers. Don't forget, you will need a Google API key and you can provision one directly in the notebook, and you have to give the notebook access, and also you will need to connect to Google Drive, especially if you are running the code samples that I provide, and you can do that by just pressing this icon. But let's get into it. Before proceeding, you need to understand that the files that are supported for video understanding by Gemini are MP4, MP, MPEG, MOV, AVI, FLV, MPG, WebM, WMV, and 3GPP. These are the files that are supported for Gemini. There's also a limit of 20 megabytes, and this includes the prompts that you use and also the video that you pass to Gemini. This is a limitation that we've seen time and time over throughout the series. That is why I always encourage developers to always use the file API provided by Gemini. It is absolutely generous. There is also an upload limit of 1 video per prompt. You can provide a maximum of 2 hours video per prompt. And for free tiers, you can upload more than 8 hours of YouTube videos per day, while for paid tiers, there is no limit. You also have a 10 video upload per request for Gemini 2.5, but if you're using a lower model, there is only a 1 video per request limit, and you can only work with public YouTube videos. Now, if you're running this, make sure you just click run all, and that should run all the code. I've done this previously, and let's just go through it. As usual, we define all the packages that we may need, we set our API key, and we initialize a Gemini API client. And we'll be using the Gemini 2.5 model for the purpose of this tutorial. Our first task is to describe and extract information, and here I provide Gemini with this horse video that will be available to you, and it's just a video of different horses running, and it also has some cinematic feeling to it. And we give Gemini a prompt and we tell it to summarize the video, and as you can see here, we're basically using the inline file upload, and it means that in terms of the size limit, both the file I'm uploading and the prompt do not exceed 20 megabytes, and I ensure that I put this here for you. And we see it generate a description, and it says a large herd of horses seen in galloping across the wild snow-covered field. As they run, their hooves kick up flurry of snow with distant white mountains framing, and that is very accurate to what we see in this video. For the next task, we'll have Gemini answer questions about the video, and for the purpose of this video, we'll be using this bird video that I found that shows a species of bird just basically eating and munching over something, right? And we would basically pass that through uploading the file to the Gemini file API, and then we'll sleep for 30 seconds. The reason because when you upload a file, the file goes through different states like processing and until it's in the ready state before you can actually work with it. So I've put a backup time here of sleep of 30 seconds so that we don't immediately start working with the file. And here we pass the file to the request, and we also pass the prompt here. And we send the request, and we see here that Gemini says the bed in the video is an European robin, and that is actually correct. If you search for European robin bird, you will see that Gemini successfully describes that bird. Now, let's see how we can work with YouTube videos. I have a YouTube video here from one of my favorite channels called The School of Life, and it's just a YouTube video explaining or discussing why dating destroys your mental health. If it's something you're interested in, I encourage you to go watch it. But here we're giving Gemini this YouTube URL, and I give it a prompt that I should summarize the video in 3 sentences. And Gemini does an exquisite job in doing this, and it says the video, the brutality of dating, explains why dating is a challenging experience, and Gemini goes as far to give you all the highlights that were mentioned in the video. Another powerful feature of Gemini's video understanding is that you can basically generate transcripts and visual elements from your video. For example, still using the YouTube video that we used in the previous chapter, I tell Gemini to generate a transcript from the audio from the video, and it should give us timestamps and for salient events in the video, and it should also provide visual descriptions. And we see here that it successfully does this, and it basically maps each timestamp, and it tells you that this is a visual description. The video starts with a white background. Does the video actually start with a white background? That is absolutely correct, and Gemini gets this spot on, and it just basically generates all the transcripts of everything that was said in the video. Think if you're building an application for students to be able to skim through important information from YouTube, you can basically generate timestamps, and that would allow them to do this. Now, let's look at how we can refer to timestamps in a video. So for example, I know a timestamp in the video where I'm interested in, and in my prompt, I tell Gemini in 1 minute and 10 seconds, what's the intent of the speaker when they describe the evening? And if I just skip to that part of the video, and you can see it, and when we barely remember our names, the evening, so Caucus in its outward form, let's see if Gemini correctly gets it. And here we see that Gemini accurately gets it. It says, when the speaker describes the evening, their intent is to underscore the profound existential weight and high stakes of seemingly Caucus romantic encounter for the person experiencing it. Right, Gemini successfully does this. In the previous chapter, I showed you how to specify a timestamp in your video. But what happens when you don't actually have a timestamp in mind, but you want to extract useful information from the video? This chapter is going to show you how to do that. I will be using the bed video we uploaded in the previous video, and we query Gemini and tell it to tell us the timestamp where the bed flew away. So what timestamp did the bed fly away? And if I should just go through the video and skip it, the bed flew away at about 20 seconds. As we can see, the bed flew away at about 20 seconds. Let's see if Gemini successfully identifies this. And when we run this, we see that Gemini provides two results, 0.03 seconds and 20 seconds. And I will show you why the first one has a 0.03 seconds. I think Gemini classified, or in its training data, anything that involves flapping of the wing might be classified as flying away. And if you should just look at it very quickly, you see a very quick flapping of the wings by the bird, and I guess that's why Gemini classified that as the bird flying away. But we see it correctly identifies that the bird flew away as about 19 seconds, which is kind of relatively close to the 20-second mark. In this video, we looked at video understanding using Gemini. We saw how to answer questions about a video. We saw how to extract information from the video using Gemini. We saw how to refer to specific timestamps within the video, and how to also get timestamps for when key moments happen in the video. We also looked at limitations for working with Gemini to do video understanding tasks. And these are building blocks that you continue to come back to again and again when you work with Gemini. If you made it to this part of the video, thank you so much for watching. If there's anything you didn't understand, please leave a comment, and as usual, like the video, subscribe, and turn on post notification as I'll continue to post videos like this. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.